Good evening. It is Tuesday. Omni X-Men is back, and I'm hanging with Justin from KnowGood Comics.
What's going on, John? How you doing, man?
Is this your third time being on YouTube tonight?
feels like it.
I feel like you had a video this morning. You just got off a live stream, and now we're back again.
Yeah, it's been a busy day, but I figure Tuesdays are going to be my video days, along with all the other days that I do video. But
you're trying to combine it all into one.
Yeah, a little
event.
Bit, a little bit. It's working out. Did you catch that video, by the way, this morning?
I did not. I was in class, so I was not. But I caught you going live as I was leaving my LCS, so I was in the chat for your last show that you were doing with Morbius.
So I wanted to, before we get started, and before you get into the chat or anything else, I just wanted to say I picked up a really cool homage to Giant Size X-Men, and I wanted to show it here tonight.
Ooh, let's see. I'm gonna blow you up here.
You saw the crossover, right? Homage.
Yes, I got that book.
So this is the homage that I got. Sorry. It's the real thing. Sorry, not homage. It's the real thing.
Man, that looks crystal sharp.
Oh man, it is super white. I mean, the colors really pop, and I mean the spine is like how the squareness.
They always have. There's usually a lot of like spine ticks and tears and breaks. Like mine has a fingernail length split. Yeah, this is really the only flaw, but I mean, it needs to be cleaned. It's not as white as that. The colors on that, wow.
It really. So I was working out a deal with my LCS recently, and we were able to, they hooked me up. They kept it aside for me. Picked it up over the weekend, and I'm so happy about it. And I wanted to show it on the X-Men. So I waited for Tuesday to let my video go up. So some people knew about it already. I was hoping you didn't see it.
Sorry, now I'm super sorry I didn't watch it. Man.
No, it's great.
And raw copies of that book are getting incredibly hard to find. Like they just are not that many because everybody's getting them slabbed. I mean, I'm sure you're planning something of the sort.
I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but it's about they said it was about a 7.0. I think it could be better than that even.
Wow. I mean, it looks better than a 7 to me.
Right.
Mine looks worse, and I was guessing and hoping mine would be a 6 or a 6.5. Wow, that's a beauty.
Yeah, just way to start. Kick it off and.
So cheers to you and congrats to you, sir.
Appreciate it, brother. This has been a great journey,
big book, yeah.
Collecting X-Men the way I've been collecting and reading and doing the show and everything else. It feels great to just it's to have it. It's I like that more than the X-Men 1, and obviously X-Men 1 is still amazing, but just with my my experiences with the stories and what we're doing here, all of it's really focused on Claremont and this era of the new team. So I definitely appreciate it a little bit more.
Sure. So. I mean, obviously a lot of characters have their first appearance in X-Men 1, and it's a huge issue for that. But in my opinion, hashtag not my team. If it doesn't have Storm, Nightcrawler, and Colossus and Wolverine, it's just not my team. Now, I'll allow Banshee, but that's about Banshee gets second tier status for me. But I know I don't want to upset Chet. I know Chet likes his Banshee.
Oh man, so I didn't want to cut off the chat, but
that's awesome. That is awesome, man. So super congrats to you, man. That is huge.
Brother. I appreciate it.
Hello to our chat. Yeah, we got Ruben Guzman right off the bat hanging.
Ruben.
Mom's birthday is always more important than X-Men, so I appreciate you making the priority there, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Lasso is here. He is saying, hell you X-heads. And we were supposed to have a guest tonight. Azor's, his work schedule has changed, so we will get him into a future episode for sure. But missing out on you tonight, brother.
Yep.
Jackson Roy Kirk is here. Hello to you. We just saw some amazing collectible paper. And we got, let's see who else. We got Chet saying Grail. There it is. Justin, I saw a Grail Fetch Supreme. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
There it is. Nice. John, you need to recognize them all. There you go. There it is. Good to hear that from you. So, yeah, this is Omni X-Men. If you don't know, Justin and I purchased our first omnibus last year, and it happened to be the same one. And we thought, what better way to enjoy these stories and these books that have meant a lot to me and certainly are now meaning a bunch to Justin as well by going issue by issue through this run. And so tonight we are on issue 116. We noticed that we're well over halfway now in this omnibus. We're really moving, and if we stay on schedule, it's possible that the final issue from this omnibus will be read and discussed on a Tuesday that is my birthday. So we're trying to stay on pace. Yeah.
That'd be great.
So that's our plan. That is our hope, and that is our plan. We also want to give away some fun prizes for those of you who stick around each week for this show. And the trivia we ask at the end of each episode is about the previous show and book. So if you follow and hang around with us, you're going to have a great shot of answering correctly. The first correct answer gets a raffle ticket each time for that sweet omnibus right there. Yeah, Omnibus Volume 2.
Could be yours.
Which means when we start breaking down Omnibus Volume 2, there's going to be someone in this chat who can just read right along with us in their Omni and never get their greasy fingers on their books, Chet. Then the person who answers second also gets a point in the overall scoring. And I try to give a point for comedy as well so that we can have an overall score. And I will give away an X-Men mystery box. I'm going to fill one of those flat rate boxes with X-Men related materials and send that out to one fan, whoever comes in either first or second, depending on, we're going to pull that raffle ticket first. And if the first place overall person wins the Omni, then the second overall person would then have a shot and get my giveaway box.
Yep.
My birthday is in June. I'm basically the very beginning of June, June 22nd. So will be that.
I'm before you. I'm June 8th.
Oh, hey, there we go. Well, you're a Gemini. I'm barely out of the Gemini.
Yeah.
I dodged Gemini. I'm, as most people in my life will tell you, I'm a Cancer. So yeah, we're going to be going all the way through March, April, May, and then we'll be finishing right near the end of June. Maybe take a little break and then be right back for Volume 2. So be ready.
Hell yeah. It's going to be great. Looking forward to that.
And there he is, Mr. Spinetix himself. We are sad we can't have you this round, but hope to get you soon. And whenever the work schedule gets a little more manageable, you let me know, and I'll give you a list of what issues we got coming up, and we'll get you in here.
Definitely.
See, there it is. He's in the chat.
Yep.
So let's jump right into issue 116. What were your thoughts, Justin, on this issue?
So I like the issue. I like that there was a lot of action. It was way more. I was way more into it than I was the previous issue, and I'll admit I was definitely pulled out a little bit when the issue kind of came to a sudden halt. I'm referring to the last issue. It really slowed down, and there was a lot of talking going on in that, but I get it. I understand it was setting up for this issue. So I really liked this issue. I think I'd throw about a 9, give this about a 9. I do like that you get to see the team work together. Certain team members test their strengths in different ways to be able to come out of this mess. And some of the team members are down. So, other people had to kind of work together and figure out ways to get them free. So, and we see some really badass scenes with Wolverine and some others. So, and I know we get into that. So I'll give it about a 9. What do you think, John?
I will definitely say Wolverine is the saving grace for this issue. And I had so many moments where I was like, where's the logic in this issue? Because I don't get it. Like, there were several moments that just cracked my brain for logic that I struggled with. Sure. This issue probably would have been a 6 without Wolverine and one phenomenal Storm page. So overall, Perry, hello to you. Overall, I'm gonna give this one an 8 just to be like nice to the amazing stuff that Byrne is doing for Wolverine in this issue. But man, it was a struggle to get to 8. Like there were moments that I'm like, what? That's really this villain's plan? Like that's their like explain. Someone needs to break down this villain's plan to me, because at this point it just seems like a bad Austin Powers villain. Which
And
I
love
get
it.
it. This is the era and time that Austin Powers is mocking with their films.
Totally.
So, there's definitely some of that. So everybody, we're going to jump into the slideshow here and jump into this issue with a phenomenal cover. As far as color work goes, I remember getting this issue and saying, wow, the fire, his metal armor, like the way they use the reflection on Colossus, and of course the pink X-Men logo. I'm in. This is a great color worked cover.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially this is something that I feel like would grab anybody's attention if you weren't necessarily reading this series at that time or whatever. And especially if you knew Colossus and just know, like, it makes you question, like, well, what happens if Colossus it stays in fire for too long? Like it kind of explored some of those abilities. And we kind of find out to some degree, anyways.
Which was similar to the one when he was in the ocean. We're like, is he going to drown? Like, does he drown? Yeah. Like, so we've seen what the water will do to him, and now we're seeing what fire does to him. That is some cool stuff. I agree.
Yeah.
Shout out to Chet. He says I give it a 9.4. Love the Storm, Kurt, Wolvie team up. I'll post my copy for you all tonight. Okay.
There you go.
And he also said Gemini and Cancer, like castor oil and poison. My brother is a Gemini. My brother's June 18th, so we're like 4 day apart neighbors.
Oh wow.
So let's roll along here. We've got. Did anyone pack winter clothes to save the Savage Land? I love the fact that it's like stormy weather, snow on everything, and there's Kazar just balls out, man. He's living the dream, man. He's living the dream there.
He's got the cat to keep him warm, He's
right. Well, skin it. Skin it.
I like that the mountain here was designed with the words. I thought that was so cool. Clever. Yeah, clever little intro to this whole thing.
This is a great splash page. As always, I feel like every issue, pretty much since Claremont came on, has had one of these. Pow!
Oh, yeah.
Here's
Absolutely.
where we left off. Amazing detailed pages, and Byrne just has upped the ante every time. You get the whole team climbing up the mountain. Although Storm can fly, I don't know why she needs Colossus to help her up the mountain, but whatever. She's still fatigued from everything she's gone through.
It's true. She went through a lot, John. Sauron.
Yeah, that guy. Who's now our friend.
He's a good guy. He's all right. That guy's all right.
So apparently, get to the top of the mountain. Bad guys have built their fortress of not so solitude. This huge base they've been busy building. And apparently, like Kazar says, when you're a god, all things are possible.
Yeah. So I didn't realize that this was going to be as massive as it. I mean, from this, like, we somewhat get it, but I guess I don't know. My imagination didn't go as big as this went from seeing it from this view versus when we go inside and we see the stadium and everything. Where this is a really, really big arena, I guess you can call it.
Right. Absolutely. Hello, Old Wolf is here. What is up, brother? And Azkaban is here, and that is true. They are quite the trio.
Hell yeah!
And the hairstyling on Kazar here is phenomenal. He is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing base that they've built in seemingly a short time. But hey, we're not going to judge gods. I found these panels hilarious to me because I feel like they just got ambushed by a pterodactyl like 2 issues ago. How are they not ready for this now?
Well, this pterodactyl has a man on it, John. He has a man on it with
against the whole team. Against the whole team, and
do you see how big that net is? Banshee just could not do anything about that net.
He couldn't see it coming. So
he was done.
He this one guy with like a spear and a bolo takes out the entire team.
Well, so I was wondering,
or maybe there's more than one. I don't know.
I think there's 4. I think there was 4 altogether. Later they address and say they only took as many members as they could carry, or something like that.
It's just it's a mockery. This is unbelievable.
They weren't ready.
Ambushed again by pterodactyls, which admittedly. They're so tiny, they're hard to see. You don't see them coming in the big sky.
I mean, I personally hate when that happens. I've gotten ambushed several times in my personal life, and it's not fun. So
I mean, technically, if we count Sauron, this is the third time they've been ambushed by a pterodactyl in 3 issues.
I'm telling you, man, Savage Land is savage, man.
Savagely pterodactyl heavy. But yeah, definitely some good action going on here, and some cool moves from characters, and Cyclops, Colossus, and Banshee being snaked off.
I do like how Banshee, you get to see him bamf up into the sky kind of there, and you see the background of the bamf on that right hand.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
And, I'm sorry, Nightcrawler. I love how he does that, or how they draw that as to, you can even see Wolverine in the corner, or
in the back. Yeah,
so
that's a great panel.
Yeah, that he's jumping as far as he's jumping.
That's
and then I also just enjoy seeing Cyclops get knocked in the back of the head.
Sure. And being carried away in a lump.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate that.
So then it's not a great start, right? They're not off to a great start, but admittedly, 3 of the best X-Men are left to save the day, as you would expect.
Yep.
And Kazar got snaked away as well. So a little bit of difficulty to begin the day, and it leads to one of my favorite sequences, which is Wolverine and Zaboo. I love this. I love that Wolverine is like able to tame the savage Sabretooth here, even though that will be an enemy he faces frequently in the future. The art style, the like tenderness, the sweet, I love all of this. This was like, oh man, come on, nailing it.
Also, just the close-ups of Wolverine and Storm there, like just the artwork. I always appreciate these close-ups of the characters, and then just seeing Wolverine petting him like that he is doing there. Just the design work is really good. I really enjoy that.
He is petting the kitty. I believe it. And the communication, he gives them a command, and Zaboo just runs off. Like he's like, "Gotcha, I'm on it." Yep. I love it. Cats and dogs usually don't get along. Wolverine, and a Sabretooth. I don't know. Jackson Roy Kirk says Claremont really finds who Wolverine is. I agree, and I think a lot of people credit Byrne and that the relation. Byrne was a big fan of Wolverine and the idea, and I think the 2 of them really built something kind of fun for the character. And it's clear because once Byrne takes over, Wolverine gets prominence right off the bat.
Yep, big time.
So I just love that bit, and then we move on to Wolverine straight killing some guy.
I love the reactions that we get here with like Storm, like, oh man, like poor guy there, Wolverine. I wish we saw it. I will say, I wish to some degree we got a little bit more, because we haven't really seen Wolverine lash out on a person like this before, but.
It's a big deal, a big moment. Chet says, "What's that last? You say there's a fire in the barn?"
Yeah, exactly.
I do, from what I've read, there was a lot of debate, and that Stan Lee and Claremont were very adamant that they don't want to turn Wolverine into a mindless killer or whatever. And so it was a big debate back and forth on how to do this.
Sure. And
Byrne was pushing for Wolverine's got to kill somebody. Like Wolverine's got to do it. So this was a little bit of credit to Byrne on saying that's the direction this character should go. I do agree. The look on Storm and Nightcrawler's face, because we know Storm obviously very against killing, and you can see her just like, I don't think this is the right move. And Nightcrawler saying, "My God," right? "My God." And the snicked as the sound effect, I think it's even more powerful, like not seeing the shark in Jaws. I think there's just something kind of grisly about it. But I'm super glad they did it. Absolutely. He needed this moment. And that poor guy does not know what's coming. I love Wolverine in the shadows, and then straight to the close-up in the snicked.
It's a cool way. It's a cool way that they do it without showing the blood, as you were saying, that they wanted to do it in a way that you get the point, but you don't necessarily see the blood. It is a creative way to do that. So, kudos to them on at least recreating it to where our imaginations kind of take it from there.
And it's clear what happens. Like, it's clear. Even Storm is like, he's like the great cats of the world, the Velt. When he strikes, there is no mercy in him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
So then they break in, and then Justin likes animal torture here. It's Wolvie and Storm versus Jurassic Park. What? This is crazy. What do you got to say here?
I mean, clearly Wolverine, he's defending himself. He would have died otherwise. So you do what you got to do. But yeah, I mean, I love the concept of, essentially his blades just going through the back end of a head. Again, this is probably, the borderline of giving people, that side of Wolverine and doing it to this dinosaur, which, they can be forgiven in a way. So that's, I think, the way they kind of looked at it. But I just love the idea that, we want to see more of this with, like, when they fight against the pink and purple robots, right? Like, that whole aspect, seeing those claws go through the back head of a sentinel like that is really, really cool. So, I'd like to just keep it as, okay, this is a fake dinosaur, and we'll just keep it at that. But yeah,
it's definitely I don't know. I don't think it's a fake dinosaur. It's a real. But I think it's also a cool moment where he's like pointing and his hand just gets bit, and he's like, and it pops the claws, and he's done. Yeah. It's like you bit Punisher's gun, and he's like, well, I'm just gonna pull the trigger. I think you're good.
Pretty much.
And then Storm using her wind powers and whoosh, blew the rest of them away. I thought that was kind of cool. I love old school X-Men Fable. Well, then you've come to the correct show, my good man. Every Tuesday on either Justin's channel or mine, and you can subscribe to him by clicking the link in the description down below, and then you'll be set. We oscillate back and forth. We're on 116. 117 will be on his channel next week.
Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out, Fable.
Chet says this is literally when he fell in love with Wolverine. So boom. There you go.
There you go.
It's hard to argue with any of that for sure. And he also mentioned, I'm sorry, Chet, this is a great comment. Storm's expression is very telling as to who she was at this time. And I've heard a lot of debate from people saying, like, she doesn't raise enough of a fuss that Wolverine kills somebody. And I feel like, no, I disagree. It's in that expression and in the thought bubble that goes with it. It's enough for me as the reader and a fan of Storm. I feel like it's enough. And I was like, wow, yeah, I can see that she's not happy with it.
Yeah.
But she obviously doesn't raise a lot of arguments about it. But I think she also understands there's not a lot of choices.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of time. They're trying to be on the move.
Totally. So now they break in a little further and find, I don't know, Battle Dome? I don't know what this is. This is Thunderdome.
Ladies and gentlemen.
There's going to be a cage match in the middle there. There's a fire burning all around. There's a giant, like, obelisk with a face on it, and then a mob of people, just an absolute mob. And this is where I'm just going to legit tell you that this is why this issue, I struggle with this issue and the previous issue. I feel like they, as much backstory and information as they gave us, I do not understand this god and what his purpose is. He wants to create his utopia, but his utopia is going to destroy the world. It's like there's no logic to any of this stuff. It's just the response is usually just suck it up, John. Just go with it. Just go with it. Right? And it looks cool, and certainly there's a lot of great action. But my brain is always saying, but why? Like, what is the plan here? What is sacrificing these three guys going to do for your overall evil plan here?
Right.
It all seems very abstract and just like, just go with it.
That's kind of, I try to just look at it as these guys he is a madman.
Yes.
And regardless of his plan, the team has to put an end to it, and try to just stop him.
That's basically all I understand about it.
Right.
At this point. There's no deeper layer than that.
No.
He crazy, we're gonna kill him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, look how big that is, though. Like, this scene is what really got me, where I'm like, okay, like seeing the little heads and like the drawing of the fans or whatever you call, the people that are watching. Yeah. Really gave me a perspective of like, okay, this is massive. Like the inside of this place is huge.
Yeah. 2 men enter, 1 man leave. It is epic. And the scope and scale is very impressive. In fact, they even mentioned like, hey, could you teleport down there? And Nightcrawler's like, I probably could really be struggling with that distance, but I'll give it a try. Like, because those little dots on the sort of raised platform there are really far away. Those are people. Yeah. Those are people.
Yep. It says it'll leave him weak as a kitten.
Exactly.
He tries it.
All right, so let's see what goes on. Now we've got this. Okay, firstly, Pink Colossus. Like, I'm down.
Yep, I'm down.
Second, the bondage and the firelight. This is almost for me better than the cover because it's almost it's the perspective is great. And the color work on Colossus is so good, even in the like little panel of his face. Mm-hmm. I love that it's almost like he's like heating from the inside. Like, yeah, like you can see, I just love the color work on. So yeah, this is like, yeah, go Byrne, get it.
Absolutely. And I just like the idea of how it's testing his abilities. It's kind of giving the reader an idea to think about of like, you know, what would happen if we apply heat to Colossus? Is he currently in pain? He says no, like not right now. He can currently handle what's there, but he can certainly feel that something is, you know, going to be hurting eventually.
It can't go forever.
Right. So it kind of, you know, just, you know, makes your mind think. And I think that's something I really like about it as we explore these characters even more, as we're still learning kind of who they are and what they do. And
yeah, the limitations and aspects of their abilities for sure. Yeah. Jackson Rickard says, it's a good thing they started with Colossus. Yeah, if they started with Banshee, it'd be kind of a bummer. Yeah, Kazar, he's not gonna last a long time in that fire, especially with just the loincloth.
Yeah, the villain did not make he didn't really consider this in terms of time. He was like, let's see which one will take the longest first.
Eeny, meeny.
Time to be rescued.
It's not a quality decision. But hey, he's a god. He can't know everything. Oh wait. That's the point of a god. So yeah, in the midst of it all, Nightcrawler bamfs in, whips off Cyclops' eye covering, which they apparently had some kind of an eye covering for him. And Cyclops just goes, and it's fight time, man. It's fight. And he blasts Cyclops or Colossus free. And I love the image of like pink Colossus just launching from the fiery like pit there.
A dive.
Oh my gosh, so good. Yep. And then of course all the X-Men are getting free, and everybody's blasting away at everything. And yeah, I love it.
I like where we are seeing a little bit of like background stuff going on with the foreground, like zoomed in, like with that Colossus thing. Same thing with what we saw before with Nightcrawler when he's bamfing, and you just see this distance in the background. I feel like we're seeing that a little bit more here, just in general, and I like the usage of that, you know, type of art.
It's great perspective because it also lets you know with all these characters and all these things going on where kind of you are and what's breaking down here.
Yeah, hello. And that there's other things going on at the same time.
Connecticut, what is up?
Hey, what's going on, Mike?
And so for me, like anytime we get more pink Colossus, flames bursting off of him, and he's just railing on people, I'm like, let's more of that.
Yep.
So now we're into the fight sequence of this issue, which is, like Justin said earlier, it's significant. It's a big part of this. He's a god, but he's already like, I can't beat these guys.
Yeah, he's just running off. I remember thinking that. I'm like, where's he going?
he's a god, and he's already like, he's like, I'm out of here. I got to get to my escape jet.
And he checked his watch, like, oh, look at the time.
Let's just think about like, I watched Django Unchained recently, and one of the guys says, why don't the slaves just revolt? There's way more of them than the slave owners. Like, just revolt. So let's talk about this moment.
Yeah.
Why aren't our X-Men scared out of their wits by the fact that there's a god and his huge throng full of people? Like, if they just mobbed the stage here, right? If they just stage mobbed this whole thing,
he would have nothing.
Why is he running? This drove me crazy. I'm like, where is he going? Dude, you're a god with an army full of people. Where are you going? You're fighting 6 guys, and one of them's wearing a thong. Like, what is going on here?
Nothing against people who wear thongs, but,
Only if they're wearing it to fight. Although I guess maybe that's a wrestling thing. I was like, for shame, you're a god. Come on.
Well, I did think it was a little silly now where we're going through this chase scene, and Cyclops just has this staircase that he has to run up, and I'm kind of thinking like, this is where we're at right now. This is, a little bit of a far-fetched, situation, but
it's an epic chase. Like, these guys chase for almost 2 pages.
They do run for a while,
just so that they can get him to the roof. Like, that's really the whole point. Like, this is not like the whole idea was they wanted to get him to the roof so they could destroy this building that they made in like a day. Right. And it's like, what is going on here? This villain annoys the life out of me. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous. And then apparently he's an incredibly fast runner because Cyclops is like, I can't catch up to this guy.
He's out of shape. Cyclops
chasing him.
He was hanging out in the Savage Land for too long. He got too comfortable. He's
he got.
I mean, he didn't shave for a long time. You know, like
just shaving.
Clearly, put on a few pounds. I think Cyclops put on a few pounds. I don't think he's really healthy. You know,
it's the Savage Land weight. What is up, Rod? Good to see you, my brother. It looks like maybe your show has let out because I see all the artists rolling in here. Nice. But hello, Johnny Rosado. What is up?
Big shout out to Johnny Rosado. Him and Jay Ramirez, they just launched their YouTube channel, and there's some really good guys. Nice. They're both X-Men fans, so congrats to them. They launched it just last night. So Dream of August is the name of it, but Johnny, he's one half. So
I will have to search that. If any of my moderators want to drop the link for them, go ahead and drop that in the chat. I would appreciate it. So it's called what? What is the channel?
Dream of August.
Dream of August.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
And, they're on Instagram. They're on Instagram, yeah.
Awesome. And I think I got everybody. Rod came in here. Good to see you, Rod. Thanks for coming. At least he didn't build a Stargate in 10 minutes. Fair. That is well said. That is the best. That's the comment of the night, my good man.
So that is a really good point. And then, we talk about how he designed this whole building, this whole city or whatever.
Yes.
I guess it kind of equates to.
He didn't build a Stargate. He built a city, and apparently got a ton of followers.
Yeah, he just made it all happen.
It's not like John's YouTube channel that's like inching its way along. No, he got followers in a day. Rod, thank you for the super chat, man. You are awesome, my man. And if you guys aren't following Rod, he just finished his show, Lamer Frame. Some great artists, and usually a couple of schlubs like me. But it was very entertaining, I'm sure.
When I just read Rod's message for a second, I thought it said X-Men is the 9th best place. Is what I thought. So I didn't know.
I would argue maybe it's this issue might be the 9th best. There's question marks.
In this, but yeah.
So Cyclops chases him for several pages up to the roof of this place, and then there is a cool art sequence here where they decide to face off, and I'm like, this god had this laser firepower all along, but apparently he was too weakened to actually fight until he started absorbing the city to suck the power out of the city. But then you get this showdown. I dig the color work here as well. The oranges, the reds, the yellows. Cyclops versus a god blasting at the top.
Yep. That is dope. Like the collision there.
Right? Absolutely. So great color work. Lots of good. Again, the hot colors, they just shine a ton.
Was it the sun that he was absorbing, or it was the city?
I thought it was the city that he was dragging power. Okay. The city will never lack for power, but the savage land around it will die. Okay. Let's see. I am the personification of the forces that the ancient before your race was born. Let's see. Was it the issue? Where was it? He's further from what Kazar told me. The city is built over the geothermic heat sink that warms the savage land, acting like a seal on the gigantic pressure cooker. I thought he was rushing up there. Yeah, he says, I expended too much energy from building my metropolis. The effort has left me no stronger than a mortal man. If the X-Men are to be defeated and my dream saved, I must have cut something off. Oh, I must re-energize myself. That's what he's saying. So he's running up there to re-energize himself. And so he's got a little way to like absorb energy there. I don't know that he explains. Again, they're not explaining things well.
we just got to go with it. Got to go with it.
Yeah.
I like his face there, the top right hand.
Really great detail on his creepy face.
Yeah.
The god has to fight naked. Hey, respect. I got to be free. I got to be free of encumbrance. So then, as they're fighting, we're back to a very familiar scene, which is the X-Men battling in a building, and it's all falling apart behind them, and everybody needs to be rescued by those of them that can fly or escape in some fashion. I think somebody even says that this feels very familiar to us. Same drill as in Magneto's lab? Let's do it. Yeah, there's Banshee.
Yep.
It's like, hey, we've practiced for this.
They're ready.
So yeah, very entertaining to watch this all kind of repeat, I guess, a little bit. And for me, it leads to a beauty of a Storm page. the diagonal lines here and the like full length Storm flight trying to save this horrible god. I love this whole page. It's real, all the black. Mm-hmm. We've had such bright colors in this black page with black backgrounds and this sort of void underneath. I love this page. Really cool. And even when she screams, it's in red. I love that too.
Totally. And it really does define more of her character with, she's willing to save this evil man or god. And she's really, risking herself, putting a risk to herself and trying to do this. And you can see her talking to herself, trying to, stay focused and reaching out to grab this guy's hand. And then she kind of, I guess blacks out and, misses that opportunity to do so. She ends up still, as we see, saving herself. And
in like Phoenix fashion, just like exploding out of the ground instead of the water. She comes like launching out. Really great image there as well. Yep. So if it weren't for the Storm with the kitty cat, like this would be the winner. Wolverine with the cat was almost as good. It was just a little bit better than this, which is like top notch. And of course, the city collapsing and everybody making it out safely.
They have a really good evacuation process. So
I think they practice that in the danger room, right? Definitely. How do you get out of danger? Escape the danger room. So then we really rush through the ending of this issue, which
gotta go by.
At what point do we deal with the fact that this guy had like 100,000 acolytes, and we're just like, it's all good. Kazar, you can clean this up, right?
You got this right. Your people, you can get some people on this.
I was so mad that this issue ended as like brusquely as it did. I was like, wait, there were like thousands of people in that room watching this thing. You're saying that our guys could all escape and none of them could?
Right.
They're not going to like wage war in the Savage Lands and try to resurrect this god. We're just going to let it go. And then it's like a fortnight later. What have they been doing for a fortnight? They've been building this boat.
Well, Cyclops had to shave again, I think.
Yeah. It's like a fortnight. Okay. It's been a little while. Isn't that 2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks, I think. Yeah, they're saying
2 weeks. They were. I wanted more Aurora in a bikini lounging, but apparently all that Banshee has to say about her experience is leave her alone. She needs some time.
Yeah, I mean, I do like where they're trying to really illustrate that she is hurt this heavily by this particular experience, and clearly she's taking it. Yeah, I love the shadowing of her face there, and like
and even in the next panel where it's like this in the midst of a big hurricane, you get like the rain washed face. You get a similar reaction.
Yeah. Yep.
So the fighting is over, and now we're gonna return home in the midst of a hurricane. Like we can't catch a break here.
When it rains, it pours.
We're friends with Sauron now, just so you know.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy.
And we got a boat now, and to get the boat started, Cyclops has to blast the water or whatever, and that pushes the boat. It wouldn't knock him over, but it pushes the boat. And then we go straight into a hurricane. And tune in next week.
Yeah. Yep.
Those people feared. They didn't understand. So they left the stadium and went home for dinner.
I don't blame them. Yeah, I would do the same thing.
My God.
I didn't understand. I'd go eat dinner.
If Magneto wanted Charles dead, he'd be dead. Fair. That's very fair. And Wolvie is petting the kitty again, which I also like that little throwback that Zaboo is back, which he sent Zaboo on a message to do a job. I don't know if that ever worked out or if Zaboo just like hung out and waited for the city to collapse and was like, okay, it's all good now.
Maybe that's why they had the boat prepared. He was telling them, hey, by the time they handle this, 14 days later, they're going to need this boat. And
but that's how this issue ends. And then we're done. We're into the facts here.
Bam.
The only key elements in this issue are connected to Wolverine, which is why Wolverine fans, I think, are really big fans of this issue. It's the first time we get to any knowledge of his healing factor and his unbreakable bones. Because when he is asked after killing that Velociraptor or whatever, he basically says, I'm already healing. I'm healed faster. And he also says there's no animal alive that's been able to break my bones.
Right.
They don't specifically mention adamantium or anything like that,
Sure.
or how quick his healing factor is, but it definitely comes up here.
Yep.
Also, Wolverine is talking with animals for the first time and showing using deadly force for the first time. So for X-Men fans, this is definitely a key. Definitely. I will also say I think this is the first time we've had a book with so few 9/8s.
Oh, really?
66.
Ooh.
66 and 207 9/6s and 217 9/4s.
Wow.
And a minuscule amount that might account for the fact that this has one of the most exaggerated 9/6 to 9/8 jumps. 9/6s are $140.
Whoa.
9/8s are $750.
Yeah, that jump is insane.
That jump is wild. So,
wow.
That is not quite 6 times jump.
And the fact that it's not a major key is, I'm surprised that it's that multiplied still.
That for those of you specking, if you can find an older slab 9/6 of this book, press it, clean it, get that 9/8 because you made some dough.
Yeah, that's a good point, man.
That book. So we've talked before about many of these early issues being great, like flipper books. If you can get a 9/6 into a 9/8, right. This one might be king of the pile as far as being able to do that. You spend $200 buying the 9/6, pressing and cleaning it and submitting it, and you pop a 9/8, you're good. You're definitely good. You flip that book, you sell that book.
I have like 3 copies of this book.
You have 3?
I think I have 3 copies. There was one where I bought one and then I saw it somewhere else and I somehow claimed 2. I don't want to get into it, but somehow claimed 2 more. So I have 3 now, and none of them are 9/8s that I know of. But
yeah, mine's definitely not a 9/8 candidate. My raw copy.
That's hilarious. Watch your mouth. It's a huge key for us Wolverine fanatics.
There it
true,
is.
Very true. Very true.
And Mark. Ricky Markstad is here too. Thanks for coming, Ricky. Did I miss anybody? No, I think I got everybody. What's up, Ricky, though? Thanks. So yeah, this is definitely one of those books that if you're looking to hey, try a little investment book. Sure. If you find a 9/6 that looks pressable or older slab with the black, the white and blue label that's split down the middle CGC wise. Those are books pre-pressing and slabbing being constant. So you might be able to get that bump. Could be something to look for. So just, if you're an investor.
Yeah.
And then, wait, sorry. I don't know what this is doing. Wait a second. I don't know how that happened.
How did this come
I thought that we were at the end of the slideshow. So my mistake. I'm sorry about that. I will get us. There we go. Back to normal.
There we go.
Sorry about that. I had to. Right, how the fun's going to be? Where's Storm? Where's Bikini Storm going to show up? I had to make this a new element, so I had to bring that in.
I love it.
Bearded is here, and he's like, naughty. Hey,
that
needs to be a weekly feature. There you go. Be ready for it. Be ready for it. There's that book is in my Wolverine collection, as where it belongs. Honestly, for Wolverine fans, I think this is not I don't want to say a mega key, but certainly a key issue for Wolverine fans. Yeah. And I did not realize how much so until reading it with an adult collector's eye, all the little things. And if you go on the Key Collector app, they don't mention all the little things that we just mentioned. They are, it's an app with many flaws, as Justin mentioned on his last show. But if you search online, you'll find a lot of the things that we're mentioning as far as, the deadly force and speaking with animals and the connection to nature and animals, some of that stuff that's kind of cool.
You didn't highlight that this is the first time that we see Colossus pink.
Which I'm saying ups the value for me. I'm just saying.
A first appearance of Pink Colossus.
I agree, Azores. You should be reading these books, which is why we're doing this show. And most of the shows, as you notice on my channel, are about reading. I'm not here to spec and to give you tips on what books to buy, But I will tell you when I read something and I like it, and whether a book is worth the time to read. And I do think this obviously is a series that's worth that time. Bearded says, I'm still mad at Justin for not sharing all the responses that people sent in for pumping up other content creators.
So I actually did. I tried to do both, and there was a glitch. I actually had several glitches throughout the night. But Bearded, I did send John a screenshot of your initial submission on kind of busting his chops there. So I don't know why I didn't show it, because it was supposed to be a two-parter, and it only showed the bottom.
I'm used to it. Yeah, I know that there's shots fired. I shot some shots at Alec, but that was about all I did. So this is the end of our show, and we're going to do some trivia questions about last week's episode, issue number 115. For those that have been sticking with us and been friends and hanging out in this chat, we really do appreciate it. I've got my overall scorecard here with now Magic Lasso in first place. Chet and I got issues tied for second, and Jackson, Roy, Kirk, and Beta Ray Jim there in that third and fourth spots on the overall tally. We've also got the raffle going, and every time you get a correct answer and they're the first response, you get a raffle ticket, and we're going to pull a raffle ticket. So it means any raffle ticket has a chance to be the winner of the X-Men Volume 2 Omnibus. So just getting the first answer, being the first correct answer, matters a ton, but then copying and pasting perhaps to get the second answer is also worth a point, and it'll get you on the overall scorecard.
Or some comedy. Throw some comedy.
Or jokes, because we do value mockery as much as we enjoy factual information.
That's right.
Did you want to go first tonight, Justin, or you want me to go first?
Sure, I'll kick it off.
Okay.
So my first question is... I'll ask that one second. How was Sauron carrying Storm around during last issue? There was a specific, I guess, part of Storm that he was carrying around in order to really drag her places. I guess that's the correct way. So what was the part that Sauron was dragging her or carrying her by?
I see one correct answer in the chat. I got the live chat up just in case.
All right.
So I see the first place correct answer. And I got my Colossus Colossus thing here.
Oh damn, dude, that's awesome. I love that. I gotta give me one of those.
What happens when you got kids? Every pencil becomes like decorated with some crazy thing. I got Jackson, Roy, Kirk with the correct answer, and then I'm following it up with Azores. Yeah, dragging her around like caveman style. Dragging her by the hair. So Azores, you get a point, second place point. And Jackson, Roy, Kirk, you are in fourth place solidly on your own, and you get a raffle ticket. Let's see. Let's see what kind of comedy we got going in here. By the hair of her chinny chin chin. Entertaining from Bearded. Wi-Fi is slow, says Chet. Oh, no.
No excuses, Chet. No excuses.
I'm going with in a basket like Dorothy's dog Toto.
I like that.
Lasso. I thought for sure we would be seeing some I got issues tonight because he's bouncing around the YouTubes tonight.
I was going to say, yeah.
He must be spitting fire in some other chat tonight.
He was on fire for sure.
Shout out to you, Chris. You were dropping some knowledge in Justin's last show, but I know that my notification bell's probably not clicked, so I totally get it.
He did say he was going to start removing people, so
there you go. Do it. Shots fired. So my question is, last week we had the awesome guest who's joined us a bunch, Brandon from Comics Kings, and right over his shoulder is a member of the Justice League in a framed picture. Which Justice League member is directly over Brandon's, I guess it's his left shoulder, framed behind him? Can you name that Justice League character?
And remember, you're going to have to jump over to my channel if you're doing some background research.
We already got our comedy answer. It is not super pro Bearded Comic Bro, but I will give you a comedy answer point there.
There you go. Just start naming all of them. They're
Yeah, I mean, if you just name them all, you're gonna probably come along. But the
Right.
truth is, I can't believe you started with Aquaman. Come on, man. Who
is he going
show me-
alphabetical? He's going alphabetical, maybe.
If you are, you show me somebody who has a framed Aquaman picture over their shoulder, I'm not watching that channel. I'm just telling you right now, it's not happening. Come on, man. Give me a break. What, Charlie?
Nothing yet. Nothing yet, guys.
I have to be open-minded. No, not about that. I don't have to be open. I don't have to be open-minded about Aquaman.
Oh my, he's in the lead.
All right, shoo.
Oh,
I don't see anybody with the correct answer. You're not naming. You're not naming the correct. Oh, there it is. I see one person.
I see only one. Only one
correct answer.
Start copying and pasting.
It says hi to you, Charlie. It's not Daredevil Rod. You just keep hoping, brother. He's not a member of the Justice League any more than he's an Avenger.
Rod was going for the comedy there.
He was. So far, one correct answer. You just got to copy and paste it. There it is.
Oh.
You didn't spell it right, but I'm giving it to you anyways. That's the second correct answer. The first correct the magic lasso strikes again. It's also over my shoulder.
Nice.
It was Hal Jordan.
The answer was right in front of you guys. John had it up.
It was right there. So magic lasso, you get the 2 points and the raffle ticket. You are on fire here, sir. And then second point was to Bearded, who got 2 points this round. Aquaman is a mutant. Aquaman is definitely a freak for a lot of levels. A lot of things. All right. A third question is from you, Mr. Justin.
All right. So next question is, how many times does Wolverine get hit by Cyclops's optic blast?
In the last issue.
In last issue. Yeah. Issue.
We can't count how many times he's been hit. Like
in general.
I'm sure there's a website somewhere.
Yeah. Counting how many times.
Bring Charlie back. No, Charlie's going to eat her dinner. She's going to eat her dinner. How many times was he hit? I don't even know the answer to this. I'd have to think and make a guess. How many times was he hit with the optic blast last time?
All right. So I do see the answer. Yeah, I see it twice here. So
who's correct?
The correct answer is Jackson Roy Kirk with 2 times. 2 times.
That's what I thought. I would have guessed 2, but I wasn't sure. So Jackson Roy Kirk, you got another raffle ticket. And you got 2 more points on the overall. And the second place is Bearded Comic Bro.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anybody can make a comedy one, but
I think you could definitely make a joke out of that one.
If they can make a joke out of this one, I will throw an extra name into my raffle with that. If they can make it.
Can you make a joke about how many times?
It's got to be good, though. You can't just.
How many times has Scott did Scott blast Wolverine in the last issue?
Yeah.
Got to make a joke out of it. But he gets up again. Yeah, Wolverine tends to do that. He tends to get up again. He doesn't stay down for very long, so to speak. Never going to keep him down.
Look at Chet. Chet's putting 2 here.
87.
My wife guessed 87. No, it was 2. It was 2. But, hey, I'm sure he felt like blasting him 87 times. Right? Let's see. I never make it to the end, says Jackson Roy Kirk. All right. So while you're coming up with a way to make that funny, my final question is, I was wearing a T-shirt with an Avenger on it. Which Avenger was on my T-shirt? Name that Avenger. Sing my response. Okay. Never gonna keep him down. I get you. You're Rick rolling us. I get it. My daughter Kate very excited about a Rick roll.
I Rick rolled 3 of my friends the other day.
Okay. All right. Let me finish the show. It's not Super Bro. Can you stop it? Stop it. Super Bro is not always funny.
I like Comic Assassin as many times as Wolvie stole his girl. That's good.
Would you talk to your pop for me? Tell him I'm busy. I'll be there in just a couple minutes. All right. Wow. All right. So let's see here. As many times as Wolvie stole his girl. Boom.
That's the winner. We'll throw you one in there. Comic Assassin.
Raffle ticket for Assassin and comedy points for Assassin as well. And let's see here. The correct answer was by Lasso. It was my Black Panther shirt. Lasso gets another raffle ticket, is up to 79 on the overall, but Bearded copied and pasted well. He also knows that I only have a couple of Avenger shirts. So Bearded with another second place point. And let's see here. Kate's not a very funny answer, but Chumbawamba is hilarious. So I'm going to give you that one. Bearded, you get a comedy point for Chumbawamba because, hey, how often do you hear that in a live stream?
So it's really funny. I just heard Chumbawamba be brought up by Dan, Comic Chop News, when he did his show this past Saturday.
Hilarious.
Yeah, with Jennifer. And it's so funny that was brought up because that was like I jumped in at a random time. They were talking about music, and he brought up Chumbawamba.
That's hilarious.
So I've actually heard it twice now in 7 days.
That's amazing. So as a reminder, if you're enjoying this show, we oscillate back and forth between Justin's channel and mine. I do the even numbers. He does the odd numbers, although that might all change because we have an annual being thrown in here at the end. You want to subscribe to his channel. The link to his channel is in the description for this video, so you can easily click it, jump over there, subscribe. He's dropping way better content than me, way more consistently. So you want to make sure you subscribe. This is his third time on YouTube today, people. Third time. So you definitely need to subscribe to that gentleman. And it's right down below. We will be back on his channel next week. We'll be discussing issue 117. How do they get out of the hurricane? We all want to know.
It's going to be good. And we got a guest. We got JR coming on next week as well. So Team Nerd Herd will be in the house.
So definitely tune in for that, and we will see you back here soon. Tomorrow night is Wednesday. I'll be doing New Comic Book Day Book Club on my channel.
Nice.
And then Justin and I will be dropping content for Tag Team Thursday, edited or live stream closer type material on Thursday. So stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to mention, Justin, before we log out?
Just Comic Collector Origins. I'm going to have Mama Comics on as my guest. So Lucy is going to be my guest. It's going to be a lot of fun. So
one of
Saturday,
the few community members I've met in person.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah, that's right. Very cool. Yeah,
she's out here in Southern California. So and lives somewhat near my dad's place out in Palm Desert. So I've met her in person, and she used to work at a shop near my dad's place in the desert. So I used to go to the shop and yeah, awesome.
Very
yeah,
cool.
awesome
Very
lady.
cool.
That's cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Rod, so brutally honest.
It's almost as bad as showing me your Daredevil books whenever I'm on. And yeah, I don't think I'm doing anything Saturday night. Am I doing anything? Yes, I'm with Bearded Comic Bro. We're talking about all the DC movies before Zack Snyder, basically meaning the good ones. So be ready for that on Saturday night. Bearded Comic Bro and I are going to be drinking and talking DC good movies, along with, there's obviously a few forgettable ones in there as well. Batman and Robin. So that is Saturday night on my channel as well. The shop in the desert, I got to remember the name. Hit me up on Instagram, Azores. I'll remind you what the shop is. She doesn't work there anymore, but she used to work there every weekend, and I'd come by and see her. Okay, we're out of here. Subscribe, hit the like button. We'll see you guys in a week for issue 117.
Woo-hoo.
Bye.